Okay, next we've got Angela! Angela Peñaredondo is a queer Filipinx writer, interdisciplinary artist, educator, and scholar. Peñaredondo is the author of Nature Felt But Never Apprehended, Noemi Press, All Things Lose Thousands of Times, Inlandia Institute, winner of the Hillary Gravendyke Regional Prize, and Maroon, Jami Publications. Peñaredondo has received fellowships from Hedgebrook, Kundiman, Vona, Voices of Our Nation's Art, and Macondo. They are an assistant professor of creative writing at California State University, San Bernardino. Let's give it up for Angela Peñaredondo.
Hello, everybody. Wow, thank you, Roar. I am so floored. Are you still here? Did you leave? Oh, wow. It's such an honor to be reading after you. And yeah, I'm just so empowered. So thank you for just filling the space with your frequency and your words. So it's a gift. And of course, thank you so much, Chris, for inviting me to be part of your book launch season. Congratulations. It's an honor to be sharing this space with you and to also be joining Sunday Jump, who has such a special place in my heart, because I do remember the Tribal Cafe when you all were there and reading there. Even my parents went. It was for an anthology that Rachel Cruz will be reading after me, curated and edited, and so it's so awesome to see everything come full circle and to also hear and be schooled by a lot of also young voices and culture producers and whatnot. So I'm going to read just a couple poems from the new book, and like Maria said, I love that trigger warning. And a lot of people ask me, what is this book about? And I think that's one of the hardest things, is to encapsulate what a collection's about. And I'm sure, Chris, you're encountering all of that. It's about a lot of shit. And but it does. I think Maria encapsulated really well when you talked about trigger warnings. And so the first piece I'm going to read is inspired by this film that was, I think, done in 2001, but it was a periodic film, and it was about a Filipino drag queen back in World War II. And why that was important to me is because I think it's incredibly important to think about queer Filipinx history and ancestry and where we are, and how in many instances also that part is erased, but what it means to continue excavating and reimagining that part and seeing ourselves in our ancestors and how we can see ourselves now and in the future as a queer Filipinx person. So this poem is about that film, but it's also just driven by that film and sort of I'll just read it. And the poems I will be reading are letters. So yeah, these are kind of like letter poems. And this is titled Letter to Streets That Burned You. Dear ungiven name, one who has been heard if tied by rope, if paired with glass, if adorned in tektite. Dear sunburst of whipped black wigs, emery sorry starlets at the Subaki nightclub on the corner of Abina Street. Dear Manila at dawn, ask the soldiers why they imprisoned them in barracks, now the Rizal Memorial Sports Complex. Dear golden gaze of Pasay, you know what's godlike. Sugarcane field dandies, bitter melon bakla, queens in violent eyeshadows. Dear bar girl in a fish tank, nipple fringes rage to swaying osanas, pinwheel earrings shine as still empty hands cup. Dear Minerva, Carmen and Sophie, barnyard death before sunlight, they cut grass on their knees, gatherers of their own hair, applaud their femme bodies, anoint them where they lie. Dear black market healer, even blindfolded, you're much more than others realize. Fingers clasping shape of infinity, but someone made you believe. Mouth's the limit. Thank you. And this last piece, I want to dedicate it to Chris. And this, I've been reading this poem a lot, and it is set in the 90s, but I think, like history repeats itself, it's cyclical, so I'm sure folks hopefully will also relate, but it's about being a brown feminist, right? And not even knowing that you are one. And so this was inspired by being a brown feminist in the 90s and not knowing that I was one until I got older. But this is for Chris. And it's titled Transmitter Signals from a Young Brown Feminist.
Let's go, let's go!
Dear queer choreography, Moro folkloric dance moves to Madonna's Like a Virgin. And dear gay immigrant child raised in the 90s, not to be mistaken for digital natives who obsess over throwbacks, Prince of Bel-Air pants and metallic balloons, turn Jungle Asia Monstera print. When gasoline was under $1, minimum wage $3.75, when DHS once split to form a three-headed beast, dear competition of high feminists, wooden abanicos like knives, pair of jaunty sunbursts, stilettos not on the cover of the Zaragosian, but instead veiled in funerary Sunday chic. Dear limbs of my women, so much drama, decentering comeuppance. Dear archipelago swag, techno versions of diasporic applique, didn't claim citizenship until 25, after years of teenage nerdom in wet and wild lips, teased bangs at junior high skating rinks, talent for / carnival show. Then puberty came like Bobby Brown's No Prerogative. Dear festival of another virgin in black biker shorts, raptorial nails and slumber parties, Ferris wheels lit over a soccer field. Dear coarse summer grasses, church basketball courts, and radio hits on police brutality. Dear you who question who could live as a boy, as America's brown pop stars, in fake leather, Art Deco neck chain spelling out your first girlfriend's nickname. Their mohawk black hair, skin of cassia, eyes like Pesequa. Dear self who ran far away, who could not be father's son, father's right mind, even with a penciled Zorro stash, rolled cameo sleeves, wing-tip taxi dance hall shoes. Liberated sluts laugh, clasping your uncle's arm like doves, creeping false holy. Dear Providence under pressure, culture vultures, belly bulging with trapped love, ancestral grief, saints of transmissions, Kilig queens to believe in, painted Bisayan princes, poet Aranistas unusual and rare, writing into existence our pantheon of God XXX. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.